What's wrong with annual performance reviews? Well, quite frankly, they are broken. The annual performance conversation just doesn't cut it anymore. Now, to be fair, there are some organisations that actually do have this nailed. They do it well, they have great conversations, and they are, in fact, developing the performance of their people. However, unfortunately, that is the exception rather than the rule. So what we find is that typically the annual performance conversation is not delivering results, it's time consuming, it's an administrative burden, and people, frankly, they hate it. If one-off development conversations are not working, why aren't we having more conversations more often? There's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, what we find is a lot of managers don't see themselves as required to develop the performance of their people. So I want to make this a little bit more clear, because it's not that managers don't understand that their job is to develop the performance of their people, because they certainly do. If one of your team members is struggling with a particular task or can't do something properly, most managers realise that it's part of their role to help them be able to do their job, to be able to function in their role. So most people understand that, but where the disconnect comes in is that most managers don't necessarily see their role as developing long-term performance. So this is around career development. This is around getting to the hearts and minds and tapping into the motivation and inspiring people to do their very best, not just functionally perform the role. And that's quite a different thing. So what's the value of real-time, robust feedback conversations as opposed to the once-a-year annual performance conversation? Well, the real value comes with behaviour change. So the reason that we want ongoing, consistent development conversations is because of the way the brain changes over time. So if you want to develop a habit or a new skill, you can't just do it once and expect it to take hold. That would be as ridiculous as saying, I'm going to learn the piano, la 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 la, done, now I'm a pianist. Pianist? Pianist doesn't even work that way. So if you think about what it takes to create a habit, to create a skill, you'll realise that the brain needs time to create the new mental maps for things to embed and take hold. It's like if you were to become a marathon runner. So you might know how to run, you know how to put on your sneakers and get on the track. You know where you start and where you finish. But getting from kilometre 1 to kilometre 42 is not that simple. It's not just a matter of knowing, it's a matter of getting the muscles going, getting the mindset going, building the cardiovascular system. So, and this takes change over time. So if annual performance conversations don't work, how else could we review their performance? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious through this conversation already. So it's not a secret and it's not rocket science. And I've mentioned it already a couple of times. And this is really to do with ongoing, real-time and robust performance conversations. And it sounds simple, but it's not always easy. Having these conversations requires three main elements. It's about your attitude, your aptitude, and the action you take.